Afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the brand new 1011 streaming studio. This is an area that you're going to see us work more and more out of moving forward, providing you some digital content. So hopefully, again, everyone follows along today. We're talking about the forecast. Again, it's been wet out there today. Tomorrow looks like going to continue to be a little bit active as we're going to see a chance for snow and cold return to the area. So we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and pull up our weather graphics here, and we're going to kind of first just again go through some of the current conditions out there right now, and then we'll kind of get to some of the forecast aspects moving forward as we head through the rest of your Tuesday and into the day on Wednesday, which is when we're expecting to see that bulk of the snow, and then that will likely continue into the day on Thursday. So again, temperatures 2 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, not bad out there. Again, we're cooler than we were yesterday. Again, yesterday Lincoln topped out in the low 60s. Today, upper 40s, around 50 degrees. So again, temperatures aren't terrible, but we've had off and on rain through the morning into the early afternoon. So again, not feeling quite as nice as it did yesterday. If you look at the 24-hour temperature change map to go along with those current conditions, you can see most areas 10 to 20 degrees cooler than what we had yesterday at this time, especially for central and eastern Nebraska. Also, you can see a little bit of colder air moving into parts of northwestern parts of the state. If you look at winds, again, been a little bit on the blustery side out there today. Low pressure system moving through, so we have those variable winds right now across the state, more out of the south and southwest for the eastern half of the state at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Stronger winds and more northwesterly and westerly winds for the western half of the state. We're eventually going to see those later tonight. We could be looking at some very windy conditions, especially for parts of northeastern Nebraska, and we'll talk on that here in just a second, showing you the wind advisory. We factor in that wind. Again, we have wind chills 20s and 30s again for central and western Nebraska. It's not as bad for the eastern sections of the state, including southeastern Nebraska. Feels like 43 right now in Lincoln. Still pretty nice though in areas like Hebron, Beatrice, and Falls City. So here's a look at the satellite and radar picture. Again, you can see right now this is set to the last 4 hours. I'm going to change this. We're going to go to the last 12 hours and loop that through. So again, you can see some of that moisture moving through Lincoln. Earlier this morning, some drier air kind of punching in now. So we've seen things dry up a little bit in parts of southeastern Nebraska. But again, we have seen some moisture. Again, first measurable moisture of the month in February for Lincoln. So again, we need the moisture. We'll take it. It's beneficial for everyone as the entire state continues to be under drought conditions. But again, you can see currently as of 2:20 Tuesday afternoon, things are dried up at least a little bit for south central and southeastern Nebraska, with still some ongoing light to moderate rain across parts of northeastern Nebraska. And then back towards central Nebraska, we have some, we thought we were going to see this. I'll pull up my pointer here. Some wet snow trying to mix in parts of southwestern Nebraska. I'm going to change this to now. So here we go, parts of southwestern Nebraska, and then up into really just the middle part of the state. Some light snow, some wet snow trying to mix in. And we could see some minor accumulations with this snowfall as we move through the remainder of your Tuesday into Tuesday night. Not expecting a ton. Lincoln, not expecting to see any snow. Again, best chances for this is going to be across probably parts of northern and northeastern Nebraska. Again, to maybe see a few 10/7 of wet snow as the snow tries to mix in. So again, that's the current satellite and radar picture. If you look at the observed precipitation so far today, again, this is since midnight, again, at the reporting stations, the airports across the state. You can see Lincoln 2800ths, Beatrice 2300ths, just 200ths in York, less than a tenth of an inch for Grand Island, Hastings, as well as Kearney. Omaha right now coming in with the highest total. We had said yesterday that some localized spots could maybe see up to around an inch of moisture, and Omaha's at 8,800. So again, close to that 1 inch mark. Nebraska City at just over a half an inch. Falls City at just over 4/10 of an inch. So again, we'll take whatever we can get, especially with the drought conditions that we've seen over the past several months. And sometimes it's nice to eat into those drought conditions with just rain instead of snow, especially during the winter months. But again, looks like we could add some more snow to the mix as we head into the day tomorrow. So here's a look at Skycast again as we run you through the rest of the night tonight. Again, our in-house model, 3 o'clock, I think has a fairly accurate depiction of real life conditions. Again, it probably is overdoing some of that snow a little bit across parts of central Nebraska. But again, you can see most of the moisture at 3 across northeastern, north central parts of the state, kind of back down towards south central Nebraska. And between now and 10 o'clock tonight, again, Lincoln and southeastern Nebraska may be picking up some additional light precipitation. We're probably talking less than 1/10 of an inch of additional moisture as we head between now and 10 o'clock tonight. But you can see by 10 o'clock, some of that snow, likely again seeing that transition to all snow as we head towards late tonight into parts of northeastern Nebraska. And that's where we could pick up maybe a few 1/10 of an inch of some wet snow, again, but pretty minor accumulations expected. Also, as we head towards late tonight, the one other thing we're going to watch for is that wind to really begin to pick up. I'm going to make these graphics go full screen here for you real quick so we can look at this wind advisory. Wind advisory in parts of northeastern Nebraska, and if we pull up the information here for you and I can relay it to you. So that's from 6 p.m. Tuesday this evening to 6 a.m. Wednesday morning for northeastern Nebraska, and they're looking at winds gusting maybe as high as 50 to 60 miles an hour in those areas. So again, going to get pretty windy late tonight and into early on your Wednesday. Now, the one thing about a wind advisory that I will tell you is actually the National Weather Service in Hastings does not issue wind advisories for parts of central Nebraska, and that's because if they did, they would issue wind advisories all the time. So it's not just going to be windy in northeastern Nebraska. It will likely be windy across parts of central Nebraska into western Nebraska as well. So again, that's just something to consider. Also, Lincoln and southeastern Nebraska, we will see that breeze pick up. Probably won't see those high-end wind gusts meet that threshold though for that wind advisory in terms of seeing those high wind gusts. But again, it will get breezy as we head through the rest of this evening. So then past tonight into the day tomorrow, again, moisture ends. We'll see a brief break, and then we're going to start talking about snow as we head into the day tomorrow. And I'm going to preface this talk with snow with a look at this graphic again, because through today's date, through February 14th, we have struggled with a capital S, so you can underline it, bold it, italicize it, struggled to see snow here in the capital city. We've had just 5 days in the 2022-2023 snowfall season with measurable snow. That has amounted to just 3.6 inches of snow, which if you take all the snowfall seasons, starting all the way back in 1897, and you go from September 1st to February 14th, 3.6 inches is the third lowest total that we've ever had. Again, first and second place, 2.1 inches, 2.6 inches. Fourth place was last year at 3.7 inches. And you can see on the farthest to the right column there where we ended up for the season as a whole. Last year was our least snowiest season on record. And again, those records now go back to 1897. We had just over 5 inches of snow. So as we head into this snow event, I do so personally as a forecaster. I'm a little gun shy because it has been a while. It's been over 2 years since we've seen more than 1.5 inches of snow in a day. It's kind of, we're in one of those streaks where it's like, I'm not going to believe it until it actually happens. So the chances there for several inches of accumulating snow, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But again, just to kind of set the stage, we've had these storm systems several times already before this season where we thought we were going to get a couple inches of snow, and for whatever reason, it just hasn't worked out thus far. But again, this is going to be another chance for us. So here's a look at the current alerts. Right now we have winter weather advisory in parts of northeastern Nebraska, and we have winter storm warnings in far southwestern Nebraska, and then we have winter storm watches that cover the far southern parts of the state, along and south of the interstate. Right now, Lincoln, Lancaster County, not included in any of those winter storm watches. If I pull up again some of the information on these, again for southeastern Nebraska, that winter storm watch runs from noon tomorrow to noon on Thursday. And again, we'll likely see these upgraded probably later this afternoon or later this evening. We'll either see a winter storm warning or we'll see a winter weather advisory in these areas. So southeastern Nebraska is from noon on Wednesday to noon on Thursday. If we look at south central Nebraska, we're also again looking about noon on Wednesday to noon on Thursday. And yeah, it looks like all the winter storm watch, that's nice. Sometimes they make it a little bit more difficult. We have different start times and end times, but at least for right now, All the winter storm watches are from noon on Wednesday to noon on Thursday. The winter storm warning in southwestern Nebraska is from 6 a.m. tomorrow to 6 a.m. on Thursday. So again, it's these areas in far southern Nebraska down into northern Kansas that at least right now where we are expecting to see the heaviest snow fall tomorrow and then into early Thursday morning. So again, we run you through Skycast. This is starting at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's going to be probably mostly cloudy. It's going to be breezy, and it's going to be pretty cold to start the day. So as you head out early tomorrow morning, no moisture just yet, but it will be cold and it will be breezy. Through the day on Wednesday, our next storm system begins to push out of Colorado. You can see by noon, we're starting to see that snow spread across eastern Colorado and western Kansas. Into the afternoon, we see that snow begin to enter parts of southwestern, south central Nebraska, again, along and south of the interstate in Lincoln. We may be seeing some flurries or light snow showers at least beginning to enter the picture by this time, by the afternoon on Wednesday. But the chance for snow in Lincoln will really go up as we head towards Wednesday evening and Wednesday night. And that system is going to slowly slide across parts of Kansas, likely staying far enough, again, to our south that most of this snow is going to be covering the southern half of the state. So again, this is 8 o'clock Wednesday. You basically look at everywhere south of Interstate 80 should be seeing some snow. And that snow will continue Wednesday evening into Wednesday night. The system does move through fairly quickly. This is midnight tomorrow night. And then as we head into the overnight hours, 4 a.m. Thursday, still seeing some areas of snow, but beginning to end from west to east. Most of that snow in south central, southeastern Nebraska. Then by early Thursday morning, again, maybe seeing some snow showers lingering into southeastern Nebraska. The morning commute in Lincoln, again, could be a little bit messy with some fresh snow on the ground. So that's something we want to watch out for. And then by noon Thursday, it looks like most of the precipitation has pushed out of the area, and we should actually begin to see skies clear from west to east. It'll likely stay breezy into Thursday morning as well, so it's likely still going to be pretty cold for us. So again, that's kind of walking you through what we're expecting through the day on Wednesday into the day on Thursday. But I know the question everyone wants to know is how much snow are we going to see? And again, after just kind of collaborating with Chief Meteorologist Ken Chimick, Meteorologist Brandon Rector, and the Weather Center, this is the map that we have going thus far. Again, this kind of encompasses kind of what we could see tonight with some of that wet, slushy snow that I mentioned late tonight into parts of northeastern Nebraska, as well as tomorrow into the day on Thursday. And again, looking at a swath of 1 to 3 inches of snow, basically for the southern half of the state, from southwestern Nebraska all the way into the east central sections of the state. That would include Omaha, Columbus, Grand Island, near Broken Bow, Lexington, North Platte, and down towards Imperial. 3 to 7 inches of snow, so again, some heavier snowfall possible along the far southern tier of the state. So we're talking from McCook towards Hastings, Hebron, Crete, Fairbury, Beatrice, Lincoln, Nebraska City, Falls City, Steiner, Pawnee City, again into southeastern Nebraska, 3 to 7 inches of snow. And again, the models still right now have a pretty wide range from an inch or two to quite a lot. And so again, there's still some discrepancy in what we're seeing, and so there's still time for this map to change. So by all means, I would not let this be the last time that you look at this map, because again, it will change between now and when it starts snowing again. Again, all depending on the track of this storm system. The last one we had, it was all about the temperatures and where the temperature is going to be, at the surface, a couple thousand feet up, because that was going to make a huge difference in whether we saw snow, whether we saw rain, whether we saw freezing rain, sleet, and that really wreaked havoc with the snowfall forecast, especially in Lincoln. Again, we only ended up with 1.5 inches of snow, but we had almost an inch of liquid precipitation. Again, if it would have been all snow, we would have had about 10 inches of snow, which folks, 100 miles to the west had that and more. So we don't have to worry about that this time. It should be plenty cold to see all snow. So a lot of with this system is going to depend on the track of the system. Again, a little further to the north, we're going to be firmly in probably that heavier band of snow. A little bit further to the south, we could see those heavier snow totals focused more across parts of northern Kansas. So again, by all means, don't let this be the last time that you look at the snowfall forecast. As far as temperatures are concerned, again, after topping out in the low 60s yesterday, we're going to start to see things kind of fall backwards. Today, it's not terrible, but when you factor in the clouds, the breeze, the rain, certainly a little more dreary than it was yesterday. As we head into tomorrow morning, again, it's still not terrible. We're looking at low temperatures Wednesday morning, anywhere from the lower teens in the west to the upper 20s to around 30 degrees in parts of eastern and southeastern Nebraska. Factor in a pretty strong breeze, I think, though, by early tomorrow morning, and we're looking at wind chills in the single digits to the teens to maybe the low 20s in extreme southeastern Nebraska. So again, cold start to the day tomorrow. Should be dry as we start our Wednesday. By the afternoon into the evening, that's when I think, again, a lot of southern Nebraska will be seeing those ongoing snow showers. Temperatures, again, they're going to finally be below average. We've had a good run of above average weather for a lot of the state. Highs tomorrow, though, again, we're topping out in the teens and 20s for parts of northern and western Nebraska, south central, southeastern Nebraska. We're looking at 20s to lower 30s. But I do think, especially for Lincoln, we could see that come early in the day or maybe around noontime with some falling temperatures into the afternoon. Again, a little bit of a breeze tomorrow, especially into the afternoon. It's going to make it feel even colder. So it feels like temperatures by 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, single digits, teens to low 20s. So again, it's going to be a pretty raw day. Again, we kind of had our early spring day on Monday, and now on Wednesday, it's certainly going to be feeling like winter again with some of these pretty biting wind chills. If I pull up, I'll take you past Wednesday here. Pull up on my graphics. So this is Thursday's high temperatures. This, again, Thursday is kind of the valley of our temperature roller coaster a little bit, because Thursday we kind of bottom out. Again, we're looking at upper 20s to lower to middle 30s from east to west for high temperatures on Thursday. Again, still maybe a little bit of a breeze that's going to make it feel a little bit colder. But from here, again, snow will have ended in the morning. I think by the afternoon we're mainly dry, but again, cold, maybe a little bit breezy. But things kind of improve from here. Friday, we should see those temperatures begin to bump back up at least a little bit. We're still looking at some low to mid 30s for eastern and southeastern Nebraska, again, especially if we have snow on the ground. That will be a big player in where these high temperatures go for the day on Friday and beyond. Again, if we do see some heavier snow, we have a deeper snowpack, that could certainly hold back temperatures by 5 to 10 degrees. But again, central and western Nebraska, looking at temperatures on Friday potentially reaching the low 40s to maybe even the low 50s for parts of the Panhandle. The weekend looks nice. Again, depending on how much snow we see will depend on where some of those temperatures go in eastern Nebraska. But looking at 40s, low 40s to, again, maybe low 50s from east to west. And then Sunday, looks like it could be the warmest day of the next week as we see those temperatures in Lincoln back up around 50, low 50s for the Tri-Cities, and again, right around 50 for North Platte as well. From there, it does look like longer range models are painting at least the potential for maybe another system heading into the area early next week. That again brings us the potential for some colder weather to return, as well as the chance for some snow as well. So that's something we'll continue to look out for. But again, really quick, I'll go back up here just to make sure a chance everyone got it. We'll go through again really quick, just the current alerts, and we'll walk you through Skycast one more time, and then we'll show you the snowfall forecast one last time. Again, the alerts that we have out there right now, again in blue in the southern tier of counties across the state, those are winter storm watches. We have seen these expanded this afternoon. We will likely see these upgraded to either winter weather advisories or winter storm warnings later today. Certainly by early tomorrow, we'll see these. So again, right now, Lincoln, Lancaster County is not included in anything. Neither is Grand Island, neither is North Platte. I certainly think that could change before it starts snowing. So again, the winter storm watches are in blue. Again, those are from noon on Wednesday to noon on Thursday. The one change we have seen since we showed you this just a few minutes ago is we do have winter weather advisories that have been issued for parts of southwestern Nebraska. So let me pull up that information right now. Those winter weather advisories are from noon on Wednesday to 6 a.m. on Thursday. Again, so that's Chase, Hayes, and Frontier counties. But again, all those winter storm watches from noon on Wednesday to noon on Thursday. The winter storm warning in far southwestern Nebraska, Benkelman, McCook area is from 6 a.m. Wednesday to 6 a.m. Thursday. And those counties in northeastern Nebraska, that's Knox and Cedar counties, is actually from 6 p.m. tonight to 6 a.m. Wednesday. And that's part of the system we have moving through now. Everything in the south is for the system that we have heading our way tomorrow into the day on your Thursday. And again, those areas, again, maybe you could see some wet snow accumulating an inch or two. Combine that with some really strong winds that could create some dicey travel conditions across parts of northeastern Nebraska tonight. But again, that's a look at the alerts that we have out there right now. We walk you through Skycast early Wednesday morning. Cloudy, breezy, cold, but we're dry to start the day. Into the afternoon, snow begins to creep in from the south and from the west. I think by Wednesday afternoon, York westward and south of the interstate has a pretty good chance to see some of those ongoing snow showers. Lincoln and southeastern Nebraska, that chance for snow will really increase as we head towards Wednesday late afternoon into the evening hours, and then snow will continue into Wednesday night and then into the early overnight hours of Thursday. And by early Thursday morning, we're looking at a lot of that snow beginning to come to an end. I think by noon into the early afternoon on Thursday, we should see most of the snow end with skies clearing from west to east. And one last look at the snowfall forecast before we go ahead and let you go for now. Again, heaviest snow kind of in those counties that are under the winter storm watch. We're thinking right now 3 to 7 inches of snow is possible. Some locally higher amounts, again, always, can't be ruled out. 1 to 3 inches of snow a little bit further to the north of that band. So again, Omaha, Columbus, Grand Island, out towards Imperial, looking at 1 to 3 inches of snow, traced to an inch further to the north from there. So again, that's what we're looking at as we head into the day tomorrow. So again, we'll obviously continue to keep you updated on air, online. Again, Brandon is going to have the latest coming up here. Let's see, it's 2:40 in the afternoon. He's going to have the latest coming up here on our 4 o'clock show with Taryn Vanderford. So that's in just a little over an hour. Chief Meteorologist Ken Shimmick is going to be in at 5 and 6. He's going to have even more information. And then obviously Brad will have you updated tomorrow morning on 10:11 now this morning starting at 5 a.m. So again, in Lincoln, not expecting that snow to start for at least 24 hours from now. But again, haven't seen a lot of it yet this winter, and the chances we have had have kind of fallen by the wayside sometimes, so maybe this time will be different. But again, we'll continue to keep you updated on air, online, and of course from here, our brand new 1011 Now streaming studio. Some really cool tools in here. Again, we're just starting to scratch the surface with this, so hopefully you'll continue to join us. We're hoping to do some of these daily video forecast discussions. Again, we're live on YouTube right now, and again, live on the 1011 Now live stream as well. And you should be able to see this video posted later on, likely on our website as well. So again, some really cool tools that we'll be able to use with this streaming studio. So hope that you will join us for that. But for now,